Alrighty guys, welcome back. This video, I want to do a build off of the last video, which is going to be more analysis behind the scenes as I start to refine more and more of my system and my entries. And now we're going to focus instead of the bad price action, which last video we came here and highlighted good and bad price action and why we didn't get involved in certain areas. And for those of you that haven't watched that video, I definitely advise it because it literally breaks down the entire system in very comprehensible analysis of all time frames. So I walk you through each time frame what everything looks like. So let's continue. Simply, we're gonna look from June all the way to the very end, so current price action, because that's when we had our longest or best delivery of price. And what we're going to do is step down lower to our 20 and highlight areas where we would have very good runners and then correlate those to what our validation or what our context would look like at that given time. And that is going to give us our very next big step into the next backtest, which hopefully we see improvements. So NQ on the hourly, we're going to start in June, and I'm going to select a different color here. July, August. So June is right here. And I'm going to make this just a different color. I'm going to select, I'm actually going to end up deleting all these other lines right here. Actually, I'm going to, we can do a quick analysis on these, like super quick. Very simply, we know that these areas that I highlighted are not areas where I made a lot of money. And then this area, so if anything, we can size this down to somewhere around here, or even remove this section right here, because it kind of contradicts where we started making money. However, if we go back and like actually making money, I'd say our first trade would be around the 25th. So we'll put these lines back on and go to the 25th of June. So this is where we really started to make money on forward. And then we had a dry period, and then we continued making money. And just stepping into some of these regions and looking at price action, you can tell it's not the cleanest, right? We're not in this delivery stage. We're not in this delivery stage. We're in this point. And looking at the hourly at this point, rebuild back up, there's not a whole lot for me to go off of here. So I'm just going to highlight the zone, and we're going to step up to the 4 hour and see what it looked like. And you can see here, probably shouldn't have been trading in here, and then trading in here. And then that just gapped up, so no entries. But same here. Why were we trading here? Well, price actually wasn't too bad. Price was a little choppy, but still delivering. All these areas are good. Of course, you're going to have your natural data variance, and you're going to have areas where you just don't perform, even though price might somewhat be moving. I mean, you can tell this is very different from this kind of price action right here. And that's something I'll keep in the back of my head and continue looking at as I backtest, but there's not enough data for me to draw a conclusion from this. Clearly, I mean, maybe good entries here, and then I know that the moment we start falling off, even around here, I'd stop looking. So looking at the difference between when we really started making money, what I'm going to do is hide all these lines. If anything, I'll just delete them. And I'm going to start from this point forward and just step down to the 20. The 20, there's going to be a lot to do here, okay? There's going to be a lot. But we're going to keep it very simple. I'm going to step down. I'm gonna start highlighting good entry areas, right? And only the most successful trade areas. So I'm looking at this price action. We build back up, accumulation break 1, entry here, but it fails down. So I'm not gonna highlight this. I'm gonna highlight this as an entry, and I'm gonna change the color to green so we know what exactly we're looking at. Okay. Good entry there. This probably would have been a break even, but good entry here. Oh, my bad. Chose the wrong tool. Highlighter. And I'll go ahead and delete this guy. Well, I'll delete both of them. And I'll show you what we're going to do. We're going to do a similar thing that we did last time. But this is going to be a lot more comprehensive. Entry here, break even. So I'm not even going to highlight it. Entry here, break even. So I'm not going to highlight it. Enter here, it goes. Entry here, break even. Entry here, break even. Entry here, it goes. Entry here, it goes. And I'm only highlighting the best of the best entries. Entry here, probably some sort of partial. Entry here, some sort of partial perhaps. Coming back, no entry here, entry here, entry here, no entry here, no entry here, falls back down, entry here. Okay, falls down, builds back up to some extent. Now, I'm going to put a line here and see where we're at this point, because chances are at this point, we'd have to wait for a rebuild back up, yeah. Okay, so we were looking at this point. I'm not going to step up any further. I'm just going to start highlighting areas where we go. For example, there's no entries here for me. I mean, best entry would have been down here, and we were just too far extended. No entry, no entry. Entries began here and here. Falls back down, no entry. Maybe for a partial right here. This is a maybe. It's not the cleanest. Entry here. Break even, maybe. Or a small partial. Break even. Falls down, falls down. No entry, no entry. Entry here. Entry here. And I'm just highlighting price action before we take off. It's as simple as that. Entry here. Entry here. Entry here. Maybe a small partial. Break even. And you want to stick to some of the cleanest price action, right? This is not very clean, but maybe on the 5 minute, we didn't get stopped out, maybe somewhere around here. Entry here. Entry here. And you guys are going to see how powerful this is here in a second. And this is what most traders fail to do. Maybe an entry here. Maybe an entry here. No entry. Maybe an entry here. Keep in mind, this is our 20, so validation. We'd have to step down lower into the 5 minute and see how we do here, but probably nothing here. I'm going to step down to 5 minute here. And see what, if anything, would get a small partial. And seeing this would get sideways, something like this, and look for a 1 to 3, which we certainly get. So this would be a good entry right around here on the 20. Okay. Falls back down, no re-entry, entry here, falls back down, builds back up, entry here, falls back down. I mean, notice I'm not taking any entries up here. Even if it's like a 1 to 1, there's nothing there for me. Building back up, no entry, maybe an entry in here, maybe an entry in here, maybe an entry in here, perhaps an entry in here. Notice I'm not sticking to anything too crazy, right? I'm not making this overly complex. It's just, okay, we go into some sort of bearish, we accumulate, and we start breaking up. And I'm just highlighting the areas where price just goes. It goes and doesn't come back, goes, doesn't come back. Nothing, nothing, nothing. Gaps up, so I'm still gonna account for this, especially if you trade pre-market. Maybe something in here. It does end up collapsing, and I want to stick to the best entries. So I'm just going to skip. Maybe an entry down here. Maybe one here. Any entry you took in here was a BE. Entry right here. Beautiful entry right here. Entry right here. And I'm just keeping this super simple. Like I want to keep it just clean for you guys. So you guys see what's going on here. Entry right here, goes, doesn't come back. Entry right here, goes, doesn't come back. Entry here, goes, doesn't come back. Entry here. Maybe something in here. And then maybe something right here, but that's too extended. Builds back up on the 20-minute. Maybe something here, something here. This would have been a break even, but we do come back. So perhaps something in here. Break even. Entry right here. Entry not here. Entry right here. Entry right here. Perhaps for a small delivery, I'll even draw it lower. Nothing really here. Like this is the ones that I take very high risk. Falls back down. Entry right here. And this might take a minute, by the way. We're nearing the end of it, so we should be all right. Not really anything here, just break evens. Falls back down. Entry right here. Entry right here. Entry right here because it never comes back. It does come back right here. So this would be our entry. Entry right there. We chop, we fall down. We really fall down. And given our higher time frame context, we're just going to sit out. We start building back up. Potential entry down here and beautiful entry right here. And this is the live price. You'd catch one more entry in here and that's it. Okay. This is very powerful because we're going to do a couple things. First of all, we're going to go back and I'm going to open up a notepad. Let me get this pulled up for you guys. I actually changed my mind. We're going to keep this a lot easier. And what I'll do is I'll just keep a running tab here on our text box here within TradingView. So we have it all in one place. And we're just going to take very simple notes of what we see. Okay. And we have to start somewhere. And what we're going to try to do is fit in as many data points, almost like a linear regression. We're trying to make all the data fit some sort of common variable that is closest to the best delivering market condition. So for each data point, we might look at where we are in the models, how it was in accordance to the MAs, what was the higher time frame context, and that is all going to come together very nicely. Now, because I don't have this giant database to take notes in right now, where I can save screenshots and do all sorts of intricate analysis, we're going to keep it simple because I know a lot of you guys are not the most tech savvy. And when it comes to more advanced things, we just want to keep it simple. So a couple of first things that I see right off the bat, these were out of session trades. You might not want to log those for consistency's sake, but we're still going to do. I personally am because, well, there are opportunities on other sessions that aren't available to me because I just want to sleep. However, they'll reveal a lot about my system. So first trade right here. If we want to do a quick model, we're going to get rid of that accumulation, going for momentum break one. So we're very early stage. So we'll take a quick note about that. We're going to look at validation and simple things that we know. I wish I could do a dot here, but that is what it is. Early stage delivery accumulation, and then MMB1, momentum break 1, right? So we have our accumulation, breaks back up, going in for, we can even do simpler, early stage delivery. We can do momentum break 1, yeah, entry. Early stage delivery entry within momentum break 1. Super simple, right? Accumulation, momentum break 1. We're within it. What else do I see? This is a lengthy process, guys. This is like the hard part, the case studying of trading. Coming. I have to think about how to phrase this very consistently so I can take note. Interacted with MAs, went sideways for 3 candles, 2 to 3 candles. Simple. Not keeping it too crazy. And if anything, I might want to change the color. I like this green. Okay, there we have it. Okay, so we pushed up, came back to the MAs after one strong push. Okay, and then from there, within interaction with the MAs, we built 1, 2, 3 sideways candles, and our entry was very likely somewhere in here. Okay, let's look at the second trade. Accumulation, momentum break 1, going on for momentum break 2. So now we know early stage delivery within momentum break 1/2, 1 and 2. Because now we're looking at this one as well, and this one fits break 2. What else do we notice? Well, we had this small minor push, flush back down, and then it went small minor push, flush down. No, let me rephrase that. I want to compare these 2 points to see what else is in correlation. And what we see is we see it build up, come back down, sideways, and then delivery. We're going to try to drag this and see if we can make it work here. Oh, what happened here? We had a small push down to that mace, prove themselves, sideways for 2 to 3 candles, and then it went. In this case, there is no data point that only sideways for two candles. We see 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And on that third one, it went. Or even 3, if you want to look at this as the high. Okay, that's very interesting. What else do I see? Well, I want to highlight this point within the momentum breaks, right? We're within. That's where our entry was at. Okay, cool. We're making very good progress. Now we know from 2 data points, just the super basic best entries are going to come back to the MAs after proving themselves and then go. Okay, so we're going to look at this data point now. We had a giant flush down, accumulated, momentum break 1, going in for momentum break 2. Where was this entry? Came back to the MAs, didn't really sideways, right? We didn't really get that sideways here on the 20-minute. It seems like we got 1 candle just of steadiness, and then it took off. So now we go to this data point, which is interacted with MAs, so went sideways for 3 candles, and we'll just keep a running tab of how many of these. So we have 2 trades now that worked, and 1 that didn't. Okay. What else do I notice here? Why wasn't this a valid entry? And this is where the very deep questions start coming in. Why wasn't this valid entry? It was interacting with the MA. Did it go sideways? Oh. So now I'm going to come here, capitalize, sideways. This might be something we want to look at. We went sideways and baseline on the MA. Forming. I don't know how to phrase it properly. I think went sideways with 3 candles is okay. But now we're looking at 1 to 3 candles. Sidewaysing with 1 candle is actually quite difficult. So I'm going to add clarity here. In a way that paused the MAs slightly. Or not paused, but slowed. Okay? Why wasn't this a valid entry? Did we slow the MAs right here where we interacted with them? No. But we came back in, slowed them. If you studied calculus, you'd be looking at the derivative of this, or the second derivative, and look at concavity and see if we're changing to some extent. Now that's a lot more advanced. I don't expect you guys to know a whole lot regarding that, because this is trading. This isn't mathematics or any sort of thing like that. But here we're just noticing a change in slope. That's it. Going a little less steep. It's like climbing a mountain, and you level off a little bit and then you continue going. Well, interesting here. Why didn't we take an entry here? Well, oh, what can we notice about this? Not wiki, not wiki, not wiki. This one was wiki and it didn't sideways. Okay. This was wiki, and this was wikiness within 3 candles of entry. Okay. So we might want to say something like stay away from wiki market or wiki candles near entry. And we'll say within how many candles? Well, our entry would have been here. 1, 2, 3. Near entries within 3 candles of range. Okay. And we'll keep a running tab of this because maybe we do get some wiki entries up here. Trade 1 work, 2, 3. And 3 of them were not wiki. So we'll keep a running tab of that as well. 1, 2, 3. Okay. And now what I'll do is I'll get a line right here, and we're going to color it. Green isn't bad, actually. I love this green. It looks very good. Good on the chart. Okay. So we processed all the way up to here. 1, 2, 3. Very clean entry. What else do we notice? Okay. So we built off accumulation, momentum break 1, momentum break 2, fits this rule. Interacted with the MAs, went sideways for 1 to 3 candles in a way that slowed the MAs. Okay. Stay away from wiki candles near, and that was a rule from this particular price action. Okay. We build back up. I'm going to consider this a flush down. This is an entry within some sort of accumulation, or even better, accumulation, momentum break 1, 2, 3, fell back down, and now we're rebuilding. So within momentum break 1 and 2, or within reaccumulation. Okay, so we haven't hit this market condition where we flush yet, right? Because over here we flushed, we didn't really have entries back here, but we did have an entry right here on momentum break 2. Here, we're having a setup within accumulation. So we flush down, we're getting bought up above the MAs. This is interesting because generally I like to take entries down here. But no, what if we wait till money proves itself? Okay. Let's take it step by step again. entry stage delivery within momentum break 1 or 2 or with an accumulation above MAs. Accumulated above MAs. We interacted with the MAs, went sideways for 1 to 3 candles. 1, 2, 3. We slowed the MAs. I mean, yeah, that's part of a reaccumulation, so that's all right. And we stay away from wiki candles. No wiki candles in here. So we're going to add a +4. Okay. All our entries so far, 1, 2, 3, 4, have no wiki candles within them, and they deliver. Okay. We have accumulation. Then we're going for momentum break 1. What does this trade fit as a criteria? Well, we're within momentum break 1 or 2. We interacted with the MAs, slowing them down for 1 to 3 candles. 1, 2, 3. We slowed them, getting scooped up, and then no wiki candles. So now we're going to add a +5 on this one. If anything, you might, to keep it super simple, you might want to remove the count. I'm going to review interacted with MAs, went sideways 1 to 3 candles. Just slightly below or on MAs. Okay. So we had this one work out. 2, 3, and then kind of sideways, so 3, and then once again sideways, so +4. Okay. Moving on to this trade. I mean, there's nothing else to this. We'll see here in a second. And validation for my system is going to be the 20-minute. Keeping it simple. Coming into this trade, where were we? Okay. Early stage delivery within momentum break 1 and 2. 1 or 2. I'll clarify. 1 or 2 with an accumulation above MAs. Okay. Let's see where we're at in this stage. Accumulation, momentum break 1, 2, flush down. So accumulation, momentum break 1, momentum break 2. Accumulation, momentum break 1, momentum break 2. Where were we? Okay, I can expect sideways for 1 to 3 candles in a way that slowed the MAs. Did we slow the MAs here? I mean, generally here across the board we did. Okay. So this is going to be a +5. Did we stay away from wiki candles? Yeah, this was just ranging, no giant wicks like over here. So that's going to be a +6. Beautiful. Let's go to this trade right here. What happened? We flushed down within accumulation. Okay. Early stage delivery within accumulation break 1 or 2. Momentum break 1 or 2 within accumulation above the MAs. Where was our entry? Within accumulation, just at the high of it, above MAs. Now, I don't know if we got an entry in here, so I'm going to replay just for my own sake and for data collection. Oh, shit. And we're not going to jump down quite yet. However, either in a later video or if this video goes on for too long, I'll split it up. Otherwise, we're going to continue pushing and we'll cover all 3 points of view. Okay, so staying away from wiki candles. Good. So let's count how many entries we have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, going on for 7. Okay, so no wiki. That's going to be good for 7. And then, did we go sideways for 1 to 3 candles in a way that slowed the MAs slightly below or up? Well, you tell me. We came back down, sideways MAs, and then we pushed off. So that's going to be a yes for me. Going on for +6. Okay. I'm going to play it fast. Why didn't this entry work? Well, it probably would have been a break even. Let's see if we notice something. We flushed down accumulation, going for momentum break 1 all the way up here. And I can't really identify a reason why this trade didn't work out. We step down to a 5-minute. our entry would have been right here, immediate break even. So it would have been a break even. It doesn't add or take away. I mean, technically it does add to our edge, but you get what I'm saying. It's not going to make you more money. It's just and I don't notice anything too particular about this one that would have caused it to lose. So maybe that's just natural data variance. You're going to lose sometimes. Okay, so here we get an entry. What happened? We completely flushed down. Accumulation. Momentum break 1. What happened? We came to the MAs, started to slow them down, interacted with the MAs. Okay, so we don't have a wiki market condition. I'm going to move this line just to not get confused where we're at. So that's going to be a +8 on this one. I'm going to take a slogan. Early stage delivery within momentum break 1. I'm going to make this way bigger for you guys as well. Early stage delivery with a momentum break 1 or 2 within accumulation above MAs. Accumulation, momentum break 1, we're within momentum break 1 or 2. We interacted with the MAs in 1 to 3 candles. Okay, so here's our candle that we interacted with in a way that slowed the MAs. Notice how the slope, instead of being this sharp, we went slightly sideways like that. And we stayed away from wiki candles. Well, that's a +7 for me. Okay. What else do I notice? Well, I don't notice too much right now because this is just one time frame. So we can only extrapolate so much data, or not extrapolate, collect so much data about a certain time frame. Okay, what happened here? Let's see what models we're in just in the 20. Accumulation, momentum break 1, going for momentum break 2. Where was our entry? Well, we kind of came back to the MAs. We had a break-even trade in here, came back down to the MAs, and then we built off of it. And I've noticed a couple trades like that. Let me find it. So this one, we pushed up, fell back down, and then continued going. This one, we pushed back up, fell back down, continued going. So maybe we can add a rule in here where, no, we're going to keep it simple. Because either way, yeah, I probably would have traded in here and in here. So that's all good, all good. We don't want to confuse it too much. But looking at this particular trade, staying away from wiki candles, that's a +9. And interacted with MAs, went sideways for 1 to 3 candles, just slightly below or on MAs. Did that happen? Yeah. Baseline the MAs and then continued going. So this right here is going to be a +8. And we're within accumulation accumulation 1, momentum 2. Beautiful. So now we're going to skip to this trade. Okay. Why didn't I take this entry? Accumulation, momentum break 1, momentum break 2, momentum break 3. Well, does it fit our rule of within momentum break 1 or 2 or accumulation above MAs? No, we're extended, quote unquote. We fall back down. Why wasn't this an entry? Somewhere in here. Well, interacted with MAs 1 to 3. Wiki candles, if you want to consider this wiki, I personally wouldn't, and I likely would have traded here. But once again, it's a break even. It's not going to take money away from you. It's a way of preserving capital. So we continue. This is going to take a while, guys. This is going to take a real good while. Oh, whoa. I just want to make sure it continues going. Even this one, I'm going to replay and see how much RR we would have gotten, because this isn't something I might not want to throw in the data collection. There's really no entry here for us. This is like the only baseline I see here with an ATR here, and ATR at this given candle was around 14. Actually, yeah, this isn't half bad of an entry, but once again, a break even at best. And we're going to see this probably reflected in the rules here. So crashes down, accumulation within momentum break 1 at the low. So this is an interesting one because we're so far away. Okay, so we are within momentum break 1. Above the MAs, interacted with MAs, went sideways for 1 to 3. That showed the MAs slightly sloping down or sideways. Sloping down, just getting scooped up at the precipice. Interesting. Okay. Sorry, I'm just internally processing and looking at all these other trades. Okay. And then staying away from wiki market conditions. Maybe this isn't one you want to throw in your data collection, but okay. We did go sideways for 1 to 3 candles right here, and then we built off of it. Well, let's continue going. Where's our next trade? Okay, well, I guess I'm just gonna have to play forward. Okay, I'm actually realizing no entry here. Yeah, this would be a little crazy. And that's not something I really want to trade. We're going to move our line forward and our notes forward. What do we see here? Well, we built up early stage, so giant flush down within accumulation above MAs, interacted with the MAs, went sideways for 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 to 3 candles. So we could say 1 to 4 just to introduce a little more variance into the data. Slowed the MAs, what's coming up, slowed them just above or on MAs. So that's a +1, so that's going to be 10. Stayed away from wiki candles. That's going to be an 11. And this is just me keeping count of how many. Okay, this is a beautiful entry. What happened here? We'll wait for it to play forward. And this one just kind of went. First rule, accumulation, momentum break 1. Were we within momentum break 1? Did the MAs go sideways in a fashion of 1 to 3, slightly slowing the MAs down? Not really. We just continue sloping up. So this is going to be a -2 now. Did we stay away from wiki candles? Yes, we did. So that's going to be a +12. We're going to go to our next trade right here. Keeping it simple, guys. Okay. Coming right into it. I want to see it deliver a little more. This one didn't really deliver, I'm not gonna lie. Okay, so early stage delivery. I'm actually gonna replay to the high and see how much RR we got to see if it's worth my entry, and it certainly is. Now looking at this hindsight, probably even this as my low, we would have secured at least a partial. So we'll step up back to the 20. Where were we? Early stage within accumulation, right? Above the MAs, interacted with the MAs, went sideways for 1 to 4 candles in a way that showed the MA slightly below or on the MA. Yep. So we're going to make this a +11, and we stayed away from wiki market conditions. So this is going to be a +13. I'm thinking about adding one variable. Check out what I'm about to do. So we already accounted for this, so we're going to move the line in front of it. And I want to look at something a little different. How many candles after interacting with the MA was our entry? Well, This candle interacted with the MA directly. This candle interacted with the MA. This candle interacted with the MA. This candle directly interacted with the MA, just slightly above, interacted with MA, interacted with MA. And it's the only candle where we took our entry. Does that make sense? So where our entry was with the interaction of the MA. Interacted with the MA, probably right here. Interacted with the MA. So entry candle, our entry candle is directly, our entry candle directly interacted with the MA. No entry with future candles. So what I'm saying here is our entry was right here. It wasn't on a future candle. And just slightly, this is a hard one because there's so much to look into this one. But notice our entry was just I want to emphasize this one as well. Within. We're not out here outside of the accumulation. We're within it. On every single trade, we're within momentum break 1. We're within accumulation. We're not going to be taking trades up here. No, we need to be within. Now, I don't know why this one didn't go. Okay, so this one was likely a loss or a break even, probably break even. Okay. I'm getting tired of this. And it is 11 over here, so I do have to get up early to trade New York Open. So I'll probably pause here and then continue tomorrow morning while the markets are delivering. Okay, let's look at this one. Where were we? Accumulation, momentum break 1. Now this is a very shallow one. You can consider this momentum break 1. Or if you consider this accumulation and this momentum break 1, well, we're just shy. We're just barely outside, still interacting with that maze. This is a harder one. This is a very complex one. But we'll consider this momentum break 1. Early stage delivery within momentum break 1 or within accumulation. Okay, so we're within momentum break 1. We interacted with the MAs. And this one should have been 11, 12, 13. Okay, so we are still on track. We're within momentum break 1. This was where our entry was at, even slightly lower. We interacted with the MAs and we went sideways for 1 to 4 candles that slowed the MAs. Did we slow the MAs? Super steep, a slight, very slight pause. So I'd say so. I think this fits our criteria. Did we stay away from wicking market conditions? Yes, we did. Our entry candle, did our candle directly interact? Yep. In the sideways region. That will clarify a lot because this is no longer sideways. This is straight up. In the sideways, this is straight up. So our entry is going to be somewhere right here. This entry right here. Within accumulation, momentum break 1, momentum break 2, we're within it. Did we interact with that MAs and go slightly sideways for 1 to 4 candles? We did. Did we slow that MAs? We did. 13. Did we stay away from wiki candles? We did. And was our entry candle interacting with the MA in a sideways region? Sideways region, this was where our entry was at. Not up here. No, we need to be within and interacting with the sideways region. Beautiful. Keeping it simple. I'm going to finish up this 20-minute analysis, and then I'm going to pause here for a little bit, coming into July. -20-minute. Let's see where we were at. Accumulation, going on for momentum break 1. Were we within that? Yes, we were. Did we interact with the MAs in a sideways motion for 1 to 4 candles that slowed the MAs just slightly above or barely below? We did. Is it wiki? I'd say it's a little questionable, right? But yeah, we did. So this would be a +14. Did we stay away from wiki candles? I'd say yeah, this isn't bad. Did our entry candle directly interact with that MA in a sideways region, not in future candles? Was this our sideways region? Did we interact here with it? We did. Our entry wasn't up here. No, it's in the region that interacted with it within or either accumulation break 1 or momentum break 1 or 2. Okay, where's this next entry? Interesting. Accumulation, momentum break 1, going on for momentum break 2. This is still part of momentum break 2. We're within it. Okay. Did we interact with the MAs in a sideways fashion for 1 to 4 candles that slowed and then took off? We did. So this is going to be a +15. Did we stay away from wiki candles within 1 to 3 candles, within the 3 candle range? Well, kind of. This was somewhat wiki. What I can do is step down to 5-minute and see if we would have taken a loss there. No entry here, no entry here. This was our only entry. We're going to step back up to 20-minute and see where that is. Well, we're kind of far displaced. So would I take my entry here? Probably not. I want to see my entry right here in the green where I drew it. Step back down. Do you want to consider this an entry with your low right here? Well, it is some sort of fractal. If we step up to an 8-minute, not even, maybe a 3-minute, a 2-minute, and there's nothing here for us. Well, I'm going to remove this one. -1. Went sideways. Sorry, I'm thinking. And hopefully this helps. This video is more or less for myself, if anything, to go back and review. But I'm recording this because it might help some people. So sorry for the pauses. I need to process myself as well. Okay. What happened here? Well, technically we have accumulation, momentum break 1, momentum break 2, going on for momentum break 3 if you want to consider this. But I see this as a greater flush. So what happened here? I see this as accumulation, or this even better as accumulation. Are we within that? Yes, we are. Did we interact with the MAs and go sideways for 1 to 4 candles in a way that slowed the MAs slightly below or on the MAs? We did. We pushed up, slowed the MAs. So that's going to be a +1. And we stayed away from a wiki market condition. I'd say no. So this would be a -2. What am I going to do? I'm going to step down lower to see how many losses we took in here. Or entries. We didn't take any losses. That would have been your entry. Before, I was trading this price action, and this price action, and this price action. Now you see why it's important to step back up higher? What am I noticing? Why would I have been taking entries here, right? Well, let's see if there was an entry in here. Let's walk through the same steps. Early stage delivery within momentum breakup 1, or accumulation, yep, we're within it. Interacted with the MAs. Okay, did we go sideways in a way that slowed the MAs? Technically we did. Did we stay away from the wiki environment? Well, that would have been a no trade there. Did our entry candle somewhere within here directly interact? We did with the sideways action. Okay, so maybe a loss in there. That's all good. Okay, go for our next entry. Where are we? Within accumulation. Did we interact with the MAs for 1 to 4 candles? Well, we did. 1, 2, 3. Did we slow down just slightly below or on the MAs? We did. Did we stay away from wiki market conditions? Well, this is going to be an 18. And we did. Okay. Did our entry criteria or entry candle interact with the sideways region? Well, yeah. It wasn't up here. No, this is where the sideways was at. Okay. Here, I gotta move my line so I don't lose track here. Okay, accumulation. Momentum break 1. Are we within 1? We are. Did we interact with the MAs and go sideways? We did. In a way that slowed the MAs. Yes, we did. We slowed them right here and almost got scooped up by them. Did we stay away from wiki candles? We did. So first of all, I'm going to add a +1 to both of these. So this is going to be +19 and this is going to be +19. Our entry candle, did it directly interact with the MA in the sideways region? It did. This is the sideways region. Just these 3 candles are the sideways region. And then after this, maybe sideways, and then we just accelerate again, if you will, for lack of a better term. Okay. And then we go a long period without a single trade. Okay, very quickly, just reviewing the price action we just went through. Accumulation, momentum break 1, probably a break even here. Falls back down within accumulation, likely a trade somewhere in here. One thing I don't really notice too much, yeah, probably a break even in here or a loss. Falls back down, nothing because of the wiki condition. And then we're done. Okay, coming back to this trade. Couple trades in here. I'm actually going to replay. Actually, that's all good. Okay. Early stage delivery. Let's see where we're at in this market cycle. I'd call all of this accumulation. Question mark. So I'd even draw it higher because we didn't see any sort of momentum coming into this. If you want to go deeper, accumulation, momentum break 1, going on for momentum break 2. So that's the way we'll label it to keep it simple. But effectively all this to this point is accumulation. Maybe this is accumulation to this point and then momentum break 1 because this is where serious money came in. But either way, it comes out being the same way. Accumulation, momentum break 1, momentum break 2. Are we within it? Yes. Did we interact with MAs? Go sideways for 1 to 4 candles in a way that slowed the MAs slightly at or below? Well, not really. We were like crazily sloping up at this point. I want to see where our entries were at here on the 5-minute. Entry here would have been a break even, so I'm not even going to count this one. But this entry, let's say right here, I would have. So I'm going to drag this up to here, go back up to the 20. Well, did we interact with MAs and did we go sideways in a way that slowed the MAs? No, we didn't, because that means our entry would have been back here. Okay, so it's going to be a -3 right here. Did we stay away from wiki candles? Within how many candles? 3. Our entry was here. 1, 2, 3. Kind of. It's interesting because it's just one wiki candle that shows a lot of demand coming into this market. It's not chopping. It's not like back here. So I'd still consider that a wiki candle, because we said wiki candle, not wiki market condition. Did we directly interact with the sideways region? No, not really. Unfortunately. So maybe that's not a trade you would have taken. For my sake, I'm just going to throw a -1 in here. I think -2 actually. Let's see any other entries that didn't interact with the sideways. Interacted with sideways, sideways, sideways. Didn't really interact with the sideways here, so that would be 2. Yeah. So that would be 2 trades. Yep, and we have it in there. Okay. Let's go on to the next one. Wonderful. Early stage delivery with a momentum break 1, or accumulation. Yep, that's right here. This is our accumulation. We're within it, above the MAs, just ever so slightly. Did we interact with the MAs in a sideways motion? Well, right here. Now, of course, you wouldn't be trading up here, but yeah. So this is going to be 19. Did we stay away from wiki candles? We did. So it's going to be 19. Our enter candle, did it directly interact with the sideways region? Yeah, that's the sideways region. All of this, actually. So we're good. Okay, going on for the next trade. Right here, accumulation, going on for momentum break 1. Are we within it? Yes, we are. Did we interact with the MAs or go sideways for 1 to 4 candles in a way that slowed the MAs? We did. So this is going to be a +20. Did we stay away from wiki candles within 1 to 3? We did. So this is a 20. And did our entry candle directly interact with the MA in the sideways region? Yeah, it did. Okay. So now I'm going to move to here. I'm going to move this one slightly back so we don't get confused. Okay, going on for this one. Early stage delivery within momentum break 1. Yep. Did we interact with the MAs in this and went sideways for 1 to 4? Yep. This is going to be a very interesting one because it doesn't fit a lot of these rules. My entry should have been down here because of our entry candle directly interacting with the MA sideways region. This is the MA sideways region. Our entry was in here. Well, we can actually step lower to see if it was or not. Maybe. I'd say so. Yeah, that's not too bad. Sorry, I'm just thinking. Let's walk through one by one, okay? Early stage delivery with a momentum break 1 or 2. Yep, we are in momentum break 1. Or did we interact with the MAs in a fashion that went sideways? At slightly below. Not really. So I'd make this a -4. Because at this point, we are already far from the MAs. Did we stay away from wiki candles? Yep. So that's going to be 21. And then did our entry candle directly interact? No. Okay. Going on for the next one. Are we within our momentum break 1 or 2? Yes, we are. Did we interact and with the MAs. Yeah. Actually, that is completely on me. I should have waited for this candle. So let me replay to this trade. Let me replay to this trade. And I'm going to play forward by 1 candle. Okay, at time of entry, that was on me. It's one of those anticipatory ones. Okay, now we're looking at this next one right here. So this, I'm going to move back to right there. Something like that. Okay. Are we within those breaks? Yep. Did we interact and go sideways? Not really. Did we stay away from wiki candles? We did. So that's going to be plus 22. Our entry candle directly interacted with the sideways region? No. Hopefully I didn't already count that, but I think we should be good. Okay. Okay, we are here. Before I even play forward and see it deliver, as we know it does, early stage delivery. Well, accumulation, going for a moment to break 1. Did we interact with the MAs and go sideways for 1 to 4 candles that slowed the MAs? We built up, went sideways. We did. So that's going to be a plus 22. Did we stay away from wiki candles? We did. So that's going to be a plus 23. Did our entry candle directly interact with the sideways region? Yep, it did. Sideways region is right here. Cool. Going for a re-entry. This was probably a minor partial, if anything. Okay, we accumulated. I'm going to consider accumulation somewhere around within here. Going for a moment to break 1. Are we within it? Yes. Did we interact with that maze? Did we go sideways for 1 to 4 candles in a way that slowed that maze? We did. 1, 2, 3. So this right here is going to be a plus 23. Did we stay away from wiki candles? Yes, we did. Plus 24. Did our entry candle directly interact with the sideways region? Yep. So we're good there. Coming into this trade, we flush down, accumulation. You can consider this accumulation because that's where the flush started. Either way, we are ever so slightly above it. So that's a point where I'd look at it and say, okay, I'm going to make an exception and say this was our accumulation, which is fair. Are we within accumulation? We are. Did we interact with that MAs in a way that slowed them? Yes, right here. So that's going to be a plus 24. Did we stay away from wiki candles? I'd say, yep. Did our entry candle directly interact with our region? Yes, we did. This was our sideways region. Step down to the 5-minute, and there's your entry. Either one of these two, actually. Okay. Gonna continue playing forward. Maybe one more. Okay. Where were we at? Giant flush down, accumulation, another giant flush down, but either accumulation or momentum break 1. Are we within it? We are. Beautiful. Did we interact with that maze in a sideways fashion that slowed them down? Not really. Not at time of entry, at least. So that would be a -5. Did we stay away from wiki candles? Yeah, for the most part. Our entry candle, did we directly interact with the sideways region? Well, there wasn't any, so no. Interesting. This is going to be a very interesting analysis because, well, a lot of these trades that do seem to run, some of them don't have that sideways region. And that's a sign of very, very strong demand coming in. almost as if you're late to the market. Okay. And we're here. Okay, let's look at this. Accumulation. I'd even draw it higher. Are we within accumulation? We are. Did we interact with the MAs and go sideways for 1 to 4 candles in a way that slowed them? Yeah, we did. This is going to be a plus 25. Did we stay away from wiki candles within 1 to 3? Yeah. We did. Did we directly interact with the sideways? We did. Okay. Simple as that. And you start to get quicker and quicker. Where are we? Accumulation. Maybe momentum break 1 or momentum break 2. We are still within that. Okay. Did we directly interact or interacted with the MAs that slowed them? Yeah. So that's going to be plus 26. Did we stay away from wiki candles? Yep. That's going to be 28. And did our entry directly interact with the sideways region? Yes. MA didn't start sloping until this candle that pushed it up. So yes. I don't know why I highlighted this as an entry. Probably just to break even, to be honest. But that's okay. Okay, we flushed down within accumulation. Did we interact with that maze in a sideways fashion? We did. Scooped back up. So this is going to be plus 27. Did we stay away from wiki candles? That's going to be 29. Did our entry candle directly interact with the sideways region? Yeah, I'd say so. This is still part of sideways up to this candle. I'm going to step down to 5 minutes, see where our entry was at. There you go. That's perfect. Go to the next entry. Expecting a flush down. Oh, well, that went quick. Early stage. Are we within accumulation? We are. Did we interact with the MAs in a way that went sideways? Well, that's not so much sideways, but yeah. Did we stay away from wiki? Yep. Our entry candle directly interacted with the sideways? Technically, yeah. Is there going to be an entry here for us? Likely not. We'll see. No entry for us. And that's okay. It's still good data collection. Okay. Gonna play this a little quicker for us. We got 1 more month, and then I think I'll cut this down or finish this video as a single part. And then I'll wrap it up for the night for me. Okay. Accumulated. Going for momentum break 1. Are we within it? We are. Did we interact with the MAs and went sideways for 1 to 4 candles? We did. So this is going to be a plus 29. Did we stay away from wiki candles? We did. That's going to be a 31. Did we directly interact with the sideways region? We did. That's where our entry was at. Step down to 5 minute. Maybe a break even, or even better, entry right here. Entry right here would have been a break even. So we're going to drag this up and see if we still meet all those rules or criteria. Well, looking at this further, we did go sideways. That slowed the MAs, but our entry candle didn't directly deal with that, right? We didn't directly interact with the MA on this sideways. Sideways, I'd say, was from here to here. And then we just started pushing forward. So maybe this is a -6. Okay, let's look at this new entry. Accumulation, momentum break 1, going on for momentum break 2. Fits our first rule. Second rule, interacted with MAs in a sideways motion. Yes, we did. So this is a plus 30. Did we stay away from wiki candles? We absolutely did. 32. Did we, our entry candle, was it within the sideways motion? Yes, it was. Entry? CS maybe? No crazy amount of sideways here. So while maybe we didn't get an entry in there on the 5 minute, that's not what we're looking at. We're looking at the 20 minute. Now we wait for a little bit. I'm just gonna let it play slow here. Okay, we did gap up, but likely an entry within here. Where are we? Well, accumulation. Maybe momentum break 1. Going on for momentum break 2. We are within that. Did we interact with that MAs in a sideways fashion? We did. 31. We slowed that MAs as well. Did we stay away from wiki candles? We did. Did our entry candle directly interact with that? It did. Did we step down to the 5 minute? Hopefully we have that sideways entry. Yeah, perfect. Just tapped in and then it gaps up. So that's valid. Let's go to the next one. Okay. Just let this play through. It's already 11:43 over here, and we have, oh, we got a good amount left. So I might do up to this point till July, and then yeah, we still have probably around 30-40 trades left, and I'll take care of these tomorrow. For you guys, I'll just pause the video and continue going, but I gotta get my sleep. Okay. Let's look at this first trade. Same rules. Are we in early stage delivery? Well, we're with an accumulation. Once again, it would have been nice to keep track of how many are in accumulation, how many are in momentum 1 and 2. However, that's okay. Did we interact with that? May it go sideways for 1 to 4? Slightly at or below? Yeah, we did. So that's going to be 32. Did we stay away from a wiki market? We did. And our sideways entry was within there. Let's see if we even got anything to begin with. Yeah. Sideways here. This is a little low for me. Probably even looking at the hourly. Definitely wouldn't have taken that on the hourly. But that's just part of the game. I'm just looking at overall 20-minute context, so that's all right. Okay. So I got this next trade coming up. Oh, my bad. Early stage delivery, momentum break 1. Or accumulation, momentum break 1, maybe? Maybe on the 20. Yeah, I'd say so. Did we interact with that MA and go sideways in a way that showed them slightly at or below? We did interact with that MA. Did we go sideways? We did. So that's going to be 33. Did we stay away from wiki? Yep. So that's going to be 35. And then did we directly interact with sideways region? This MA didn't seem to slow down. So I'd say this, we're going to turn back down to 32 and do -6. And same for -7 on this one, because we didn't really get that sideways we were looking for. We didn't flush down. It just kept going up. So at that point, that would probably be a missed trade for us. Drag it to there. Now, right off the bat, yes, accumulation. Here, I'll delete, well, I'll delete this right here. Accumulation, momentum break 1 maybe here. momentum break 2 going on for 3. Rarely at 3. We'll add that. And that's going to be a very specific, because accumulation, momentum 1, momentum break 1, momentum break 2, momentum break 3. This is a little weird one. Accumulation, momentum break 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe. I wouldn't really consider this a flush down, but you could consider this accumulation, momentum break 1. I'd like to see the flush downs more like this. So accumulation, momentum break 1 reaccumulates to some extent. This is more accumulation than anything. And this would be part of accumulation or momentum break 1. So this is an interesting one, rarely at 3, so that's why I threw in that comment. Did we interact with MAs go sideways for 1 to 4 candles in a way that slowed the MAs? Yes, we did. So this is going to be 33. Did we stay away from wiki? Yep. So that's going to be 36. Did our entry candle directly interact with the sideways? Yes, we did. Okay. I'll do these last 2 and then save the rest for tomorrow. I would keep going, but I know I'm going to be feeling this restlessness tomorrow when I'm on the markets. Generally, you want to be very, very well rested, especially when day trading. Okay. Accumulation is going to be likely right around here. Momentum break 1, going for a momentum break 2. So both of these fit that criteria. I'm going to just do one at a time. Did we interact with the MAs go sideways in a way that slowed the MAs just slightly at or below? Yeah. I mean, it's a lot more volatile, I guess we could say. Did we stay away from choppy or wiki, not choppy? We did. And that's okay. Let's look at if there was an entry here for us. There was not. Maybe here. And that is something we'll look at when we step down lower into the 5 minute. So that'll be good. Same with this one. I just want to make sure this trade actually goes instead of a break even. And it does. Okay, early stage delivery, momentum break 1, or accumulation, momentum break 1, momentum break 2. We're within it. Did we interact with the MAs go sideways in a way that showed the MA slightly at or below? I want to clarify. Interacted with MAs. Do we want to clarify that price went sideways or the MAs did? Because there's a few where price goes sideways, but the MA stays sloping so far up. But technically we did interact with MA and we did go sideways for 1 to 4 candles. So this is going to be a 35. Did we stay away from wiki? Yep. Did our entry candle directly interact with the MA in the sideways region? Yeah, it did. This is the sideways region. Just up to this candle. Let's see if we have an entry in there. And we do. Probably here. That's the only one I see. So that's good. So I'm going to call it quits right here for the day. And I need to clarify for tomorrow when I continue. Includes only well delivered entries. So I know when I do cross references with the hourly, 4 hour, whatever, I know what I'm looking at. And I'm looking at only delivering trades, especially when I look at specifics here. But this will be good for tomorrow. It's going to be a very good reminder, refresher, restart. And it's gonna be good to review again. So I'm gonna pause this here and I'll continue tomorrow. I can expect this to be around a 3 to 5 hour video. It is a lot longer, but this is the most important thing that comes to trading, right? Building out the system for yourself and finding out what works and what doesn't. And this is probably the most important thing. A lot of people jump straight to backtesting and they don't even know what they're looking for. And this is the difference. So validation, we're going to have one for entry. Entry is going to be very simple. Now that we have our entry area highlighted, we're going to go back And this time we're actually going to set positions on there. And then we're going to look at management, and we're building up from the ground up. Given my background, I do have a lot more experience in how the market likes to move and what I can anticipate, right? So it's going to be a little harder if you're a beginner and you're kind of trying to see what I'm trying to see. And that's why I'm walking you through every single trade, because as you look at every single trade, you're going to start to see the commonalities that I see, how it interacts with that maze. All these entries, they're going to work for you. Notice where my entries are at. Right above that maze, right above that maze, right above, above, on or above, above. Like, and you start to see, before you were taking entries all the way up here, you were taking entries God knows where, like trading all this, right? So yeah, I'm going to pause and I'll be back tomorrow. You guys have a great 1 second pause. I'll be right back. Alrighty, welcome back, you guys. It is the next day for me, the next morning. And we're just gonna get right into it. I will not be trading this morning, so I can get this video out to you guys. I do have a lot of work outside of trading I need to take care of. So I want to get this video out the way. And this is going to be a good little break from trading, although I'm not really tired of it in any sense, but okay. So we're just going to drag it up to our next entry point. And I guess we broke it. Okay. Give me a second, guys. It does not seem to want to work. Okay, so we're going to exit replay mode. And we still have our line here, so we can still replay to this bad boy. On the 20, right to... We'll do to here. Because I do want to step down lower and see what the entries look like. But once again, we're just going to look at our very basic rules. Early stage delivery. Well, let's see where we're at in the models. Accumulation from all the way back here. Momentum break 1 from all the way back here. Or even better, accumulation going on for momentum break 1 right here. So this means our entry would be within this candle. Yeah. Did we interact with the MAs and go sideways? Absolutely. Right here. We baseline for 1 to 4 candles. That slows them down. Okay. So 36. Did we stay away from wickiness within 3 candles? Yeah. Wickiness was back here. Okay. So that's going to be 39. Did we directly interact with the sideways? We did. So if we step down lower, here's our entry. Would it be a break even? Yes. Would this be a valid entry right here? Well, let's take a look. Maybe not. Yes, it would, because it's still part of this candle. We kind of pushed up within the same candle, came down, and now we're here. So yeah, this would be a good entry. Actually, no, it wouldn't. Our entry was down here. Once again, we did have sideways and interact with the sideways, so this could be another potential entry. So if anything, I'll drag this up to both of them and see where it's valid. But both of those were valid. Okay, going on to the next one. I don't know what's up with the replay tool. It's interesting. Okay. So I'm just gonna remove the replay mode, I guess. We're almost done, kind of. So I think this will be good. Okay. Moving on to the next one, which is here. It's gonna be just a little bit hard because we got less white space or empty room to work with. Okay, what stage were we in at this point? Accumulation, momentum break 1, momentum break 2, momentum break 3, momentum break 4. We broke down some sort of breakdown. So we're technically within this accumulation model. Or if you want to look at it in hires, accumulation, momentum break 1, momentum break 2. These don't really quantify as that. I do like this as the giant flush down. So we're going to start with an accumulation. So this is accumulation, break up. Okay. So we are within that. Did we interact with the MAs and go sideways? We did. So that's going to be 37. Did we stay away from wiki candles? We did. So that's going to be 40. Did our entry come directly or interact directly with the sideways region? Yeah. Okay. Very simple. And this is just getting you used to what the entries that run look like. Okay, let's look at this entry. Accumulation, momentum break 1, going on for momentum break 2, or you can consider this a smaller flush down and accumulation. So it lines up with both of them, right? Accumulation, momentum 1, momentum 2. Okay, did we interact with that maze and go sideways for 1 to 4 candles? At least, yeah. Did we stay away from wiki candles? Yeah. Did our entry directly interact with the MA sideways region? Yeah, this is where our entry was at. So a couple things we have going on here, looking at this next trade. This could be considered a flush down or a continuation, because if we look at this as the flush down, accumulation, momentum 1, momentum 2, going on for momentum 3 at this high. And then this would be momentum 4. Okay. Or accumulation, momentum 1, momentum 2. I do like this as the bigger flush. So we'll consider this accumulation, momentum 1, 2. Where was this entry? Within momentum 1. Good. Did we interact directly with the MAs and go sideways? We did. For at least 2 candles in this case. Did we stay away from wiki candles? We did. And our entry directly interact with the sideways? Yeah. There you have it. Gonna go on to this one. This is gonna be within momentum break 2. Perfect. Did we interact with the MAs and go sideways? We did. Did we stay away from wiki candles? Yeah. Did our entry directly interact with the sideways? Yes. And just pushing out of it. I would still consider this candle as part of the sideways, since the MA won't start sloping up until around this point. So this is very powerful. Okay. Going on to this one, we have momentum break 3, breakdown with an accumulation. Okay. Did we interact and go sideways? Yep. Did we stay away from wiki candles? Yep. And we directly interacted with the sideways. That's where our entry was at. Cool. Going on to this one. And you'll notice you start to get a lot faster. Was this early stage? It was. Accumulation. It was within our accumulation stage. Okay. Did we interact with the MAs go sideways that slowed the MAs down? Yep. Did we stay away from wiki candles? Yep. Stay away from... Okay, so we did interact with the sideways region at our entry. This is a kind of a crazy entry because you're far below MAs, but at the moment you're getting bought up right into them. So this would be accumulation, momentum break 1. Are we within that? We are. Did we interact with the MAs and go sideways? Yep. Did we stay away from wiki candles? Yep. Okay, and our entry was within the sideways. Cool. Okay. Flush down. Going in for accumulation, momentum break 1, momentum break 2, maybe. Okay, so we are within those stages. Did we interact with the MAs and go sideways? Well, our line is all the way up here. No. So this is going to be a -7. Did we stay away from wikiness? No. This would be a -4. Did our entry candle directly interact with the sideways region? No. So this would be a -8. Moving on to the next. So we had accumulation momentum 1, momentum 2, momentum 3, going on 4, momentum 4. Are we within our entry region that we like to see? Not really. If you were to model this a little differently, which I'm going to do, we have the flush down right here. Accumulation, momentum 1, momentum 2. This doesn't count, momentum 2. Well, in that case, yeah. I mean, there wasn't even a bearish candle in here, so you could consider this not a break. So accumulation 1, 2. Okay, so now it's valid. Did we interact with the MAs and go sideways? Yep. Did we stay away from wiki candles? Yep. Oh, my bad. Did our entry candle directly interact with the sideways? Sideways lasted from here to here. Yeah. Okay, so we're good on that one. Actually, I was looking at this one. I think we did finish this one up though, so. Right? We'll count it as this one and then make this a separate one, okay? I think I double counted, but that's okay. Okay, so we have accumulation 1, 2, 3, maybe 4, going on for 4 fails, and then we reaccumulate right at this point, aka accumulation 1. Are we within it? Maybe. If anything, our trade would have to be right here. Okay, so we are. Did we interact with the MAs, go sideways? We did. Did we stay away from wiki candles? We did. Did our entry come directly and interact with the sideways? Yep, sideways lasted up to around these 2 candles. Oh, this is an interesting one coming up. Okay, accumulation momentum break 1. Did we interact with the MAs and go sideways? No. We did interact with MAs, but we did not go sideways. Did we stay away from choppiness? Yep. Our entry candle, did it directly interact with the sideways region? No. Continue going. We've completely flushed down. We're within accumulation. Beautiful. So first is met. Did we interact with the MAs and go sideways? Yes. Did we stay away from wiki candles? Yes. Did our entry candle interact directly with the sideways? Yes. If you got an entry like right here, yes. Chances are you didn't. But once again, we're looking at how the market delivers. That way we can shape our system around what we like to see. Okay? We build up, build up, build up, giant flush down, accumulation to some extent within here, going for momentum break 1, fails down. Now we're in accumulation 1 right here. Okay. So we're within this accumulation right here. Did we interact with the MAs or go sideways? Yeah. Did we stay away from wickiness? Yep. Did our entry deal within the sideways region? I'd say, yeah, this is going to be your last point of containment or entry. Okay. We're going to drag on to the next. We'll go here. Early stage delivery. Well, where are we? Giant flush down, flush down, flush down with an accumulation. It's just barely starting to push up. Did we interact with the sideways MAs and go sideways? Yep. Did we stay away from wickiness? Yep. Did our entry candle interact directly with the sideways region? It did. Okay, then we get a giant push up. we're looking at this point. Flush down. Did we interact? Well, first of all, momentum break, or accumulation momentum break 1. Did we interact with the MAs and go sideways for 1 to 4 candles? We did. Came back. Here we go. 49. Did we stay away from wickedness? We did. Okay. And we did interact with the sideways. That's where our entry was at. Look at this entry. This is a crazy entry, but it is valid. Accumulation, momentum break 1. Momentum break 2. Going for 3. Or 2. Either one of these two. We are within 3, at least. That's likely as far as I would push it. 3 or 4 is a little far for me, but did we interact with the MAs? Actually, looking at this trade, it'd likely be a break even because we push out. Let me replay. We push away from it, and then it seems like that wick takes us out. Right? So our entry might be this one, break even, and we take a break even. So let's see if something else set up here for us. Fucking A. Okay, I'm just gonna remove this. Okay, so we'll likely remove this trade. That's okay. And we're gonna move on to this one. Because I only want to include the runners, the very clean price action. So accumulation, we kind of have a flush down even here. This is a little bit of a harder one, but given that we reached like accumulation momentum 1, if you want to consider this 2, 3, 4, and then broke down from here, I'd consider that a new kind of reset. So we're within accumulation going for momentum break 1. Are we within that? We are. We interacted with the MAs and we did go sideways. We stayed away from wickiness. And our entry candle is dealing with the sideways action here. Cool. This was accumulation, momentum break 1 at this point. Or momentum break 1, momentum break 2. It's same either way. We're within that boundary that we like to see though. Did we interact with MAs? We did. Did we stay away from wiki candles? We did. And, oh. Yep, 55. And our entry is within the sideways region. Cool. We're probably going to be staying out of this market for a little bit. And we just have a couple trades left. Right here. Okay. Are we within accumulation? We are. Did we interact with the MAs and go sideways? We did, right here. Did we stay away from choppy action? We did. And our entries within the sideways region, which I'd consider this as the sideways. Okay. Accumulation, momentum break 1 kind of failed. So I'd consider all of this momentum break 1 because there's legitimately no momentum behind this. This I don't really quantify as momentum. So I'd consider this entire thing as the momentum break what? Okay, we are within momentum break 1. Did we interact with the MAs and go sideways for 1 to 4 candles? We did. Oh, 53. Did we stay away from wiki candles? We kind of did. This is a weird one because the wickiness wasn't quote unquote uncontrolled, right? This is very controlled wickiness. It's not like we're chopping. So technically I'm not going to count that. And did the MA interact with the sideways region? Absolutely. So we'll leave that as is. Gonna go to this one. Giant flush down. Okay, accumulation or accumulation or accumulation. But I'd look at this or this as accumulation. Either one of these 3 or 4 places is right because we really didn't start scooping up the MAs till around this candle. And if you set this as this point, it almost identifies the market as already accumulated and ready to go when that's not the case. We need to see that MAs get scooped up. It's like drawing accumulation at this point. That's not the best example. It's like drawing it at maybe even like this point right here, not right here, right? If you were to draw it here, it's like, okay, we did start breaking above it. However, the MAs didn't start scooping anything up. And same here. If we draw this as accumulation, MAs didn't really start getting scooped up until a little bit above that. And here, it accounts for all that. So yeah, did we interact with that MAs and go sideways? We did. 54. Did we stay away from wiki candles near the entry? No, not particularly. However, our entry was within the sideways region, which I'd consider as all of this. Until the MAs really start sloping up, like past this point, I think it is good for entry. Wonderful. Okay, we finished the 20-minute notes. What I'm going to do is copy all these notes and take them to my personal notepad over here. Okay, so I did go ahead and get that copied over to my notes just in case it happens to disappear. Now what we're going to do is we can make this way smaller and just store it on the side. We'll go ahead and lock it so we can't mess around with it. And now what we're going to do is step up to the hourly. This is going to be the fun part because, well, it's actually going to be quite simple. And it's going to be a little hard to see these entries. However, I think we should be good. And now we're going to look at our, I'll set this larger again. Oh, my bad. 1 hour. And this is going to be our quote unquote context. Maybe. This technically I follow in line with the 4 hour, the daily, the weekly, the monthly for the context, but this is just going to be one time frame for the context. And this I'll say to review entry location. And you'll see what I mean. I'm very specific about where I take trades because I want the highest probability runners. So am I going to trade up here? No. And that's effectively all I'm looking at, models on the hourly. Hourly, we flush down, and I'm just going to start taking notes of where our entries are at. So I'm really going to have to zoom in here. But we undergo some sort of greater flush. We're undergoing accumulation, momentum break 1. So entry is within accumulation, momentum break 1, momentum break 2. That's all I got to work with right now. These are like basic starting points that experience has taught me, right? I haven't seen entries at either one of these yet, so we're about to find out for ourselves. And we'll add our dashes right here so we keep track. And I'm going to keep these way simpler. So are we within accumulation? Okay, accumulation was here, momentum break 1. Are we within that? Yes, we are. Did we go sideways? Yes. Went sideways on MAs building higher. Okay, cool. So this is a good entry. Here we have accumulation, momentum break 1, going on for not momentum break 2. I don't know why there's a line here, but this would be our momentum break 2. So I'll get rid of this line. It's Instead of going sideways on the MAs and building higher, we're going to say we're going to have one for that, and we're going to have one for interacted with MAs and continued. Just that. So on each one of these, I'm going to add a plus to keep track of how many total. Does that make sense? How many total fit under what criteria? Okay, so let's do it. And if anything, we're going to add 3 regions or 4 momentum break 3. And this is going to correlate to each one. So accumulation is going to be slot 1, momentum break 1, and that way we can keep count or tabs on maybe our best runners mainly are going to occur on accumulation or momentum 1 or 2, but not on 3. And then we can rule out just trading there in general. So all the variables, where we are in the models, we have track of that. If we went sideways on building higher MAs, or if we simply interacted with MAs and continued going. Here we went sideways, but here we interacted, right? Okay, so looking at this first trade, entry is within accumulation. No, we're within momentum break 1. Did we go sideways on the MAs building higher? We did. Cool. Did we interact with the MAs? We not sideways. There we go. So for these 2 variables, it's going to be one or the other. It can't be both. Let me draw a line here so we know where we're at. Going on to this data point right here. And if anything, I'm going to move these forward. Can I not do that? Hello? Okay. So we'll just do something like this. So we know which is which. Okay. On this entry right here, are we within accumulation? So accumulation momentum break 1. And on this one, we're actually on delivery. So we might do 1 here. And then for delivery after breaking out of it, we're going to copy this over. Oh, my bad. And same for these 2, it's going to be one or the other. Okay? It's going to get very confusing here, but outside of one of these. Inside. Okay, so what I mean by this is very important, and it's something I've been meaning to test, but it's a very meticulous process here. This entry was within the momentum break 1 here. However, this entry was outside of momentum break 1, just pushing above it. Did it go sideways on building higher? Or did we only interact with the MA and not go sideways? Well, that's what happened. So we're going to add a +1 here. Okay, we're going to go to the next trade here. Accumulation, momentum break 1, momentum break 2. Where did this entry happen? I'm going to move this out the way because it's getting quite annoying. Well, let me zoom out a little bit so I can see the bigger picture. Accumulation, momentum break 1, going on for momentum break 2. Are we outside of momentum break 2? We are. So we're going to throw a 1 in here. Did we go sideways on the MAs building higher? No. We interacted with the MAs, not in a sideways fashion, and continued going. Going on for this trade right here. If you want to consider this accumulation moment, yeah, accumulation, momentum break 1, or accumulation 1, 2, and going on for 3, or 3. Well, we're technically within the delivery of 3, right? Did we go sideways on the MA's building higher? We did. So this would be a +2. Looking at this one, are we within momentum break 3? Yep. So this would be 2. Did we build sideways? We did. So that would be a +3. Going to this one. I mean, looking at these models, accumulation, momentum break 1, momentum break 2. I'd consider this a complete flush down, and this would be accumulation 1. So it was right here, and it's within it. Did we go sideways on the MA's building higher? We did. Going on to this one. Where are we? Well, we're within accumulation at this point on the hourly. So this would be a +2. Did we go sideways on the MA's building higher? We did. What happened here? We're within accumulation, momentum break 1. Within, yep. So this would be a 2. Did we go sideways on the MAs? No. So we interacted with the MAs and continued going. I wouldn't really consider this sideways. Sideways is more like this right here, not tap and go. Okay. Moving on to this one. Giant flush down, we're within accumulation going for momentum break 1. We're still within momentum break 1. So this would be a 3. Did we go sideways? We did. What happened here? Accumulation. Momentum break 1. Failed. So I'd call this accumulation. So we're within accumulation. Did we go sideways? We did. So this would be a +7. What happened here? At this entry, we are outside now of accumulation. So this would be a 1. Did we go sideways on the MA's building higher? No, but we did interact with them and kept going. So +4 there. What happened here? This is accumulation. We're within accumulation break 1. Did we go sideways on the MAs? We did. So this would be a +8. Okay, our count has gone off a little bit, but that's okay. As long as we have a general idea of what's going on here. I think our count with accumulation right here got off inside accumulation. So I'm going to Control Z and see if something went wrong here. Okay, it looks like I can't. Never mind. That's all good. Seems like this is a bad count here. Okay. On the hourly, we're within accumulation. Did we go sideways on the MA's building higher? We did. So this would be a +9. What happened here? Well, we accumulated not really MMB1. but this would constitute as momentum break 2. However, this entry itself is outside of accumulation. Is that right? Accumulation. Yeah. Did we interact with the MAs in a non-sideways fashion? No, I'd say we did go sideways, building higher. Okay. Okay. Hourly, where are we at this point? Well, we haven't really accumulated to any extent. We're within accumulation at this point. So I'll throw in a 4 in here. Did we go sideways, building up higher? Yes. Simple. Going on for effectively momentum break 1 at this point. And we are within it. That would be a 4. And did we go sideways? Yeah, we did. You can see the slope is sideways before it took off. Moving on to this one. Where are we? Accumulation, momentum break 1, going on for momentum break 2. Inside of momentum break 2. Did we go sideways on the MAs building higher? We did. Okay, where are we here? We're still within momentum break 2 of the higher. Or if you want, we'll make it even simpler. All of this is accumulation going on for momentum break 1. But we are within it, so that does matter. Did we go sideways on the MAs building higher? Yes, we did. Coming to this one. Where are we? We're within momentum break 1. Do we build up to the MAs building higher? Yep. Going on to this point. Where are we? Accumulation, momentum break 1. I don't know why we're trading up here, but apparently there was a good trade there. So we are outside of momentum break 1, momentum break 2. No, not even. Accumulation, momentum break 1. Did we go sideways? Not at all. Okay, come back to the MAs. Accumulation, momentum break 1, going on for momentum break 2. Are we going sideways? Yep, so this would be a plus 16. Same here. Accumulation, momentum break 1, momentum break 2, going on for momentum break 3 on these guys. So for all of them, I'd say we're within momentum break 3. And there's 1, 2, 3 trades inside of here. So that would be 5. And then did we go sideways for all of them building higher? Definitely for these two. But not for this one. So it would be 18 and then 6 on this one. Because not all of them perform that way. The one all the way up here didn't really go sideways like the way these two did. Okay, so I'm going to continue here. I did take a quick break to go eat some food, and we're back. I know it's going to take a while. I'm not too big of a fan of this hourly side of things, in the sense of how I'm collecting data right now, and I'll explain here in a little bit. But this way of collecting data is very good and beneficial when you're first starting off. But for me, I'm already used to seeing where my entries are going to be, especially on the hourly 4-hour, where it lines with everything else. So doing this is kind of repetitive for me. but it might still provide some insight. So looking at this trade, are we inside accumulation? We are. This would be our accumulation. So we do inside here. Here, I'll do it on here. This would be a 5, and did we go sideways and interact? We did. So this would be a plus 19. On this one, we flush back down within accumulation. So this would be a plus 6. And we did ride the MA, so this would be a plus 20. I'm going to go a little faster for all of us. Now I'm looking at this one over here. If you want to look at this as overall accumulation and going for momentum break 1, that's completely valid. Or this as a flush out, accumulation, momentum break 1. You get the same narrative. And we're going to be within momentum break 1. So this is a 7. And did we sideways? Depends if we got an entry in here. So I'm going to replay and see where our entries were at. Chances are no. But you never know. Our entry was effectively right here. Well, in that case, drop this down to a 6, right? Yeah, I believe so. And then we're going to be outside momentum break 1. So this would be a 3. It all comes down to how you're labeling and if you're consistent. Did we go sideways? Yeah, I'm going to say no, not sideways. While this candle did interact with the sideways motion of it, sideways kind of went from here to here. We're too far. We're in the delivery state at that point. So hopefully now we can, oh, and it's still broken. Lovely. Maybe if I refresh the entire browser. Maybe. Okay, it is what it is. We were on the hourly. Okay. Then no entries. Next entry was right here. Okay, where are we? We're within accumulation for the most part. We want to see that. So this would be a 7. And did we go sideways? We did. 21. Looking at this one, same thing. We're within accumulation. So this would be an 8. Did we go sideways? Not particularly. So I'm going to do a plus 8 on this one. Now we flush back down for momentum break 1. A small pullback, not flush down. Minor flush. Are we within? We're within momentum break 1. So this would be a 7. And did we go sideways? We did. So this would be a 22. Same with this one. Giant flush down. So we're within accumulation again. So this would be a 9. And was our entry sideways? Yes. 23. Go to our next entry, which was here. Where are we? Well, we're within accumulation 1, so this is 10. Did we go sideways? We did. 24. Now, next, this one. Where are we? Outside of accumulation. I don't know why this line is drawn here. Accumulation took place probably somewhere around here. And we are outside of accumulation, so this would be 3. Did we go sideways? No. So this would be a plus 9. Gonna go to the next one. Accumulation, momentum break 1. So we are within it. This would be an 8. Did we go sideways? We did. Plus 25. Going to this one. Complete flush down within accumulation 1. Or accumulation, yeah. So this would be an 11. And then did we go sideways? We did. So plus 26. Looking at this one, accumulation. Right here. Or right here, however you want to see it. Accumulation. Momentum break 1, momentum break 2, I'd say. So this would be a 4. Did we go sideways? We did. Okay. Sorry, I was just thinking. Same with this one. We're inside accumulation, so this would be a 12. Did we go sideways to an extent? Yeah. This is the sideways action. I know it's very weird and subjective, and it's like, I don't know what I'm looking at. It is what it is. So we underwent accumulation. Didn't even interact with MAs here. So where are we? We are far extended accumulation. So I'd say we're outside of accumulation. I probably wouldn't even consider this a trade. So we're going to remove it. As crazy as that sounds. It is inconsistent with every other data point we've seen. So we're simply not going to include it. Simple as that. Because that's going to start skewing the data. If I notice it looks nothing like anything else we've seen, why am I going to start throwing a random entry all the way up here? Like, not even interacting. The questions we have are, with the interaction with the MA, how was it? Not, did it interact with the MA? It didn't even at this point. So it's not something I particularly want to look at. Okay. Looking at this trade, we are within accumulation. So this would be 13. Did we go sideways? Yep. Okay. With this one, accumulation, momentum break 1. Did we go sideways? We did. Looking at this one, accumulation 1, momentum 1, momentum 2. This would be a 5. Did we go sideways? We did. So that would be a 31. Looking at this one, accumulation, momentum 1, momentum 2, going on for momentum 3. Did we go sideways? No. We did interact with the MA. Coming on this one, accumulation, momentum 1, 2, 3, going on for momentum 4. Sorry about that. For momentum break 4, we have our first one. Did we go sideways? I'd say so, yeah. It's a little weird, but if you look at the slope, we started sloping down, and then this is a little bit of a crazy entry. It still works. Going for this one. Flush down. Where are we? Within accumulation. 14. Did we go sideways? We did. So that's 33. Looking at this one. Accumulation, momentum break 1, but there really isn't anything there. So we're still within accumulation. Did we go sideways? We did. 34. This one, we kind of flush back down. So accumulation, going for momentum break 1. So this would be momentum break 1. Within it, did we go sideways? We did, I'd say. 35. Got this one. Accumulation, momentum 1. Maybe a momentum 2. Did we go sideways on the MA? Not really. Just barely interacted with it. So you'll notice we have two types of entries. The one that flushes down and then we get the builds back up. So this would be accumulation. 16. Did we go sideways? We did. So that'd be 36. This one. This is outside of accumulation. So this would be a 4. And then did not go sideways on this one. Sorry, on this one. This one. And that's outside of accumulation. Like way outside. Moving on to this one. Flush down within accumulation. 17. There we go. Did we go sideways? We did. 37. Then we flush down within accumulation again. 18. Did we go sideways? We did. Okay. I'm just moving really fast, but same thing over and over again. Where are we? Within accumulation. 18, so this would be 19. Did we go sideways? We did, yep. Same with this one. This is gonna be momentum break 1. So 11. Did we go sideways? No. Looking at this one. Accumulation, momentum break 1. I'd consider this momentum break 2. And we're within it. So this would be a 7. And then we did go sideways. So this would be 40. Looking at this one. Accumulation, momentum break 1, 2, going on for 3. So this would be a 7. Did we go sideways? We absolutely did. 41. Making sure I don't miss any entries. Okay. Looking at this trade right here. Where are we? Accumulation. So this is a 20. Are we going sideways? I'd say so. Yeah. Looking at the MAs at least. Looking at this one. We're within accumulation momentum break 1. This would be a 12. Did we go sideways? Building higher. We did. That would be a 43. Looking at this one, which is our final one. Complete flush down. Are we within accumulation? We are. 21. Entry. Did we go sideways? We did. So that'd be a 44. Okay, we're done. Very simple. Let me find my other notes, which are over here. Well, we have... Oh, this one's locked, so that's okay. What did we notice? Well, given our 1 hour context, we want to see generally within accumulation, within momentum break 1, 2, or 3. But 4? Out of how many ever trades these were? I wish I could make this bigger. Look at how many 56 plus 6. Okay, so that'll put us at 62. Out of 62 trades, only one of them delivered with an MB4. So generally, we want to see our best trades with an accumulation and momentum break 1. Like, out of 62 trades. Guys, 62. And only one of them. Here, I'll do a 0 here. Line them up somewhat. Okay. Y'all see the power behind this? We want our entries to be within accumulation points, within momentum break 1s and 2s, but we're not seeing a whole lot of entries after they've left the critical areas. Let's look at the hourly. I'm going to go through and mentally just review, okay? This entry is okay. I'll walk you through each one. This entry is okay. Accumulation, momentum break 1, just within it. This is slightly extended, but still valid. So maybe this is good because we interacted with MA and we're within some reasonable distance of it. Okay. This one, accumulation, momentum 1, going on for momentum 2. Came back into that MA. Accumulation, momentum 1, momentum 2, momentum 3. Okay. Accumulation, momentum 1, momentum 2 happened between 2 and 3 on the delivery. This is an interesting one. Came back down to the MAs. Valid, valid, valid. Accumulation valid, valid. Valid. Kind of not valid, at least for my own taking. Valid, 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 valid. Far too extended for me. Valid, valid, valid. Pushing it, but still valid. Valid, 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 valid. I'm looking at the extended entries, or quote unquote extended. Valid. Light extension on this one. I probably wouldn't have taken that. Valid, 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 valid. Valid, valid, valid. Valid, not valid, not valid. Valid, valid, valid. Valid, valid. Probably not valid. Okay. I only got one thing on the 20. And sorry, guys, once again, this is just me processing. I'm going through and reviewing everything. I want to review the rules we had for the 20 again. And then I'm going to go ahead and copy our notes for this one. Okay. Looking at the 4 hour, I don't think I'm going to do any sort of crazy analysis on the 4 hour. Given that our trades are consistently profitable throughout this entire region, and seeing that we have different stages and deliveries at all points throughout this 4 hour, we don't have enough data to really draw conclusions. All we really care about on the 4 hour, given that we're entering on the 5 minute, which is very far, is that we have money coming in. Clear money coming in, clear money coming in, and clear money coming in. That's all we care about at the end of the day. That being said, I didn't trade today, but let's see if I would have missed something. Coming into this session, which is today, yep, we have some sort of accumulation to some extent, break back down, accumulation, momentum break 1, break back down. We're going to be within accumulation. Now let's go back to our rules. What did we need to see on the 20 minute? If anything, we'll start up on the hourly. Keep it super simple. But on the hourly, this is what we needed. Likely to be inside in accumulation, momentum 1 or 2. Let's see where we're at. Accumulation. And this was at market open. Okay, yeah. So we're within accumulation at the time of market open. Step down to the 20. We want to see where we're at. On the 20, we saw we want an early stage. Let me unlock this because I want to move it around. On the 20, we want an early stage delivery. Where are we in our delivery stage? Well, accumulation 1. We're within that. within momentum breaks 1 and or 2, above all MAs. So where do I see my entries? Here and here. Interacting with MAs, that's why I'm only looking at these two regions. Going sideways. Okay, well, we step down to our 5 minute. Nothing here for us. And then entry right here for us. Probably a break even or a minor profit. And that's it. Probably wouldn't have got anything else on the day. Now this is only for NQ, but cool. Now, if you're crazy, and if we really want to extend this video quite a bit, we can go look at the 5 minute. 5 minute is going to be a lot more complex than this. I can tell you that much. So I'm going to do one final walkthrough mentally for myself on the 20 minute to remember what our entries looked like. Where were they at? Okay. So even as simple as this, no pause there, pause here, pause here, pause here. I'm looking at how price interacted at time of entry, keeping in mind where we were within that given market delivery. Good, 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 good. A little extended for me. Entry should have been down here. Good entry here. Good entry here. Good entry here. 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 Questionable entry here. Good entry here. 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 Good entry here. Good entry here. Good entry here. Actually, not so good of an entry here. Good entry here. Good entry here. Good entry. Kind of here. So one thing I'm noticing is most of the trades that do end up delivering come up from under the MAs. There's not a point in which we're already delivering, or not too many points, like here, where we're delivering, we come back sideways to the MAs and then take off again. This is only a very few handful of trades versus the rest are like, oh, we came to the MA. We came to the MA and then came back up, but you know, the difference is delivery when we're already in delivery, hoping to catch that next somewhat bigger move. And trying to find my rules again. They're there for the 20 minute. Okay. Now that we have this down, sorry. Once again, this is a very mind using example type thing. Hopefully that makes sense. So what am I going to go do now? Well, I'm about to go do the hard work now. Let's go spot entries, entry spotting. And now we are going to use a line. I like the idea of a line. We're going to color it yellow. I guess this isn't that bad. For our entry. Entry, low right there. Entry, low right there. And all I'm doing is I'm familiarizing myself with the types of entries. And what am I noticing? For example, these two, just off of 2 trades. These two look awfully familiar. Notice, we have a strong push up, we flush back down, and then we get buy stopped into it. Flush down, and then we get buy stopped into it very strongly. Just to different scales, of course. Nothing really here for me. I probably wouldn't even label anything in there. Phenomenal. Once again, flush down and then we build back into it. Beautiful. This is a little crazy of a one and probably a break even. So probably not anything with that one. I'm only looking for the cleanest right now. A 2 candle stop. I do like those. Look for an entry somewhere within here. Not bad and not bad. Double entry in here. Nothing really. Entry here would have been a break even, and then perhaps something there, perhaps something here, and nothing here past. Beautiful entry there. Beautiful entry here. I love it when we just kind of come down baseline and then go. No entry really here, unless you're crazy and take this. Beautiful entry right here. Entry here and or here. Entry right here. Falls perfectly in line with that one. Entry here. Entry here. Entry here. Really no entry here. So that'd be a skip. Entry here. Entry here. Entry here. Entry here. This is a powerful, powerful one. I mean, if you can get positioned with one of these, oh my goodness, you're going to do so well for yourself. I'm going to draw a vertical line here so I don't lose track. But here on the 20, oh my goodness, like such a powerful entry. Here, I'll draw this again so I can take off replay mode. Oh, replay mode is not broken anymore. Isn't that fancy? Okay. Got the wrong green line. Oh, we're like all the way back here. We've barely made progress. Okay. Completely fall down. Wait for the next one. Entry right here, probably break even. Re-entry right here. Very volatile, but still entry right there. Oof. I love myself this one. Right here. Entry, no entry really provided here, but entry up here maybe. I probably wouldn't take that. No entry provided unless you take this one and or this one. I'll do like this one. Nothing there. Get to skip. Beautiful entry here. Nothing really set up here. So unfortunately I have to skip. Beautiful setup. I mean, just over this high, you barely would have gotten tapped in and then it just gaps up. Only entry I see is, or I mean, it lines up with all these highs and or you could even go a little lower. Beautiful entry here. Now I'm going to have to go back and see what I do like about the 5-minute entries. Nothing here, really. I mean, this, but it's probably way too low. Probably a break even on that one. Maybe. We'll see if this delivers. It does, so probably an entry somewhere around here. Maybe. If you're crazy, you can take all these entries. I'm just highlighting what the entry would look like. I'm not saying I'd be taking these by any. Some of these are very clean. Others are just not it. Like these are way too low. So you're kind of identifying under, you know, what would be clean for us. Nothing clear here. Just kind of goes. And we made it to the end. So now that I've highlighted these entries, what we're going to do is maybe take a couple notes on them. What do the entries look like fractally? Okay, looking at our first entry, what happened? Flush down into that maze, then we built up baseline. Flush down into that maze, okay. 5 minute, which is going to be entry flush into a maze prior flush into a maze. Then we have a baseline at a maze. Okay. Flush down into a maze. We build back up baseline and then we go. Flush down into a maze. Baseline-ish. This is the baseline. Then we go. I'm going to make this a lot bigger too. Flush down into that maze. Prior flush into a maze. Baseline at or slightly below. Flush down into a maze. Build up. Another fractal. I mean, I do like this entry. I don't know why I didn't put it in there. Good entry here. Baseline. Beautiful baseline here. I mean, all this is following our rules. Flush down, baseline. Flush down, build up, baseline. We go. Flush down, baseline. We go. Flush down, baseline. Flush down, part of the baseline. Okay, that's interesting. Not going to take a note of that yet. Flush down. The baseline is part of the flush. So again, one of those really interesting ones, which I probably wouldn't take. Flush down into MAs and building that baseline at the same time. Flush down, baselining at the same time. There's not much to see here because we're not really looking at models here on the 5 minute. That's what the hires are for. Flush down, build up, baseline, and then we go. Okay, so it keeps the 5 minute very simple. Flush down, build up baseline, we go. Flush down, build up a baseline right over MAs or at slightly below, and we go. So this is just like our entry criteria. It doesn't matter too much what kind of entry you take. This is a little wiki, a little weird. Flush down, build up, baseline, never baselined here. Then we flush back down, build up, baseline, we go. Oh, my bad. Gonna move this up. Didn't really baseline here. I don't know why I have this trade in here. I think that's not valid, but we do build back up. Flush down, build up, baseline, we go. Flush down, didn't really baseline there. It's just one of those more crazy entries. Flush down, build up, baseline, we go. Flush down, well, flush down, this would be our flush down. Build up, baseline, we go. Same with this entry. Build up, baseline, we go. And we're gonna leave all the other criteria to the 20-minute to decide for us. Okay, flush down, build up, no entry, didn't baseline. Giant flush down, minor build up, slightly over MAs. Entry we go. Here, once again, slightly below the MAs, but still valid. Build up, baseline, sideways we go. Build up, flush down, sideways we go. Build up, baseline we go. Build up, flush down, baseline we go. And notice the baseline is generally part of the flush as well. So as we're flushing, we're building up that demand right here, and then we go. Building, baseline. I mean, always interacts with MA. We'll turn that in here. Always interacts with sideways MA motion or movement. Okay. Wonderful. No entry, no entry. Flush down, baseline at the same time, we go. Build up, flush down, baseline, we go. Build up. Don't really interact with MAs, so not even going to be part of our data collection at that point. Build up, flush down interacts with the MAs, baselines go. No real good entry there. Build up, flush down, baseline, we go. So if I were to break this down simply, build up, flush with base, deliver. I think this is we build up here, we build up, we flush with a base, and then we go. Let's see here. We build up, we flush with a base, we go. We build up, we flush with a base, whether the base is here or here, right? This is like the quote unquote base or level we're looking at, and then we go. We build up, we flush down, we baseline, we go. And you can see how this gets very repetitive here after a minute, especially if you've done this before. But we build up, we baseline, flush down, baseline, we go. Here we build up, we flush down, we baseline, we go. Here we flush down, we build up, baseline, not so much there. Maybe you wouldn't have taken that. We build up, we flush down as we're basing, and then we go. And then another entry here. We build up, we flush down as we're basing, and we go. We build up, we flush down, we're basing as we go. We build up, we flush down, we're basing as we go. We build up, we flush down, we're basing as we go. We build up, we flush down, we're basing as we go. Doesn't really fit here. This is just a weird entry. Probably wouldn't take. We build up kind of a flush down, kind of a baseline. No real conciseness there. So maybe not take. We build up to some extent. Not really a whole lot of strength. Flush down. We build up. We baseline. We go. We build up. We baseline. But I mean, this is your high, so you'd wait for a reflush down. We build up. We baseline and we go. Not really a flush down at this point. Flush down was all the way back here. We build up. We flush, like fractal flush. Baseline, we go. We build up, we flush down, we baseline right here, and we go. Not much here. We build up, we baseline here. So this would be your entry, and we go. We build up, minor flush, baseline, we go. We build up, minor baseline or fractal flush, and then we go. We build up, nothing, and then this is just more of a random buy stop. We build up, we flush down, we baseline, we go. Okay. This is a beautiful example. We build up. Here, I'll just draw it out. Boom, 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 boom. And you can apply this to every trade. I mean, there's no other trade, I don't believe. Oh yeah, we got one more. Boom. There you go. That's the framework. We build up, we baseline slash minor flush, and we go. That's my entry. And that's it. Guys, there's a lot to this. It's not as simple as I make it out to seem, right? There's a lot more that I'm going to copy in this. Okay. I did go ahead and add these to my journal just for fun, more for personal data collection, and come back to it in a year or two and see how my system has progressed over the years. But if you were to break my entire system down, these are the rules. This is all I'm looking for. One more thing is I'd be looking at the monthly, weekly, and daily. Monthly, that's all I care about. Money's coming in. Weekly, that's all I care about. Money's coming in. Daily, that's all I care about. Money's coming in. And that's it. Like, that's my entire rule set for my system. And here you have it, guys. So if you want to go make infinite amount of money, well, here's the secret. Now you just got to go through and do your own data collection so you get familiar with everything that I see. That being said, I'm going to wrap up this video, but hopefully this gave you a lot of insight into what I see, what I'm looking for, where my entries are at. And this is going to be very powerful for the next backtesting video. If anything, I'll go back to several years in NQ and test this quote unquote new system or refined rules, whatever you want to call it. And we'll make that kind of our test and see how we've refined. But overall, I wouldn't call it crazy refinements from my behalf. It's just proving the things I already know. If anything, the most helpful thing was to see on the hourly, which would be our context. And our context is not only hourly. That would include 4-hour, 8-hour, 12-hour, daily, you know, everything in between and higher. Seeing this and knowing that your best entries or actual runners are going to be max momentum break 3. After that point, you're literally asking for a 1 in 62% chance, or 1 in 62, 1 over 62 times 100. You're asking for a 1.6% probability of your trade running, right? That's what you're asking for at that point. A 1.6% chance of you taking an entry on an MB4 or momentum break 4 for it to run. And that's just not plausible. Like, why would you be trading when the market is all the way up here, right? Not very smart. And that's it. Well, guys, next video, we're gonna start a new backtest. I'll get that posted for you guys. And I'll probably do this here in a few hours. I'll get started on it. I gotta take a little break, relax, get this video out there for y'all, and hopefully you guys take something from it. I know it's a very meticulous and boring process, and it's gonna hurt, and it's gonna bore your head, and whatever excuse you come up with. But you have to do it. You have to do it for yourself. Because once you go on live market, and once you get into today's session, and you see, oh dang, we're within accumulation, and we're right here, where during my back test, I always saw the trades go. Let's see if I can go get something. Or, yes, looking at the hourly. Where are we? Oh, dang. Okay, I recognize this price action right here. Let's step down to the 20. What needs to happen on the 20? I wish I had my rules pulled up. Okay, on the 20, I know that we need to be within momentum break 1 or 2, above the EMAs, interacting in a sideways fashion. Okay, I can do that. And then, yeah, no wickiness. Well, we go down to a 20. Some sort of, we're within accumulation, which is wonderful. Sideways action. Oh my goodness, right here. What's going on right here? And what's going on right here? I mean, this would be a break even, we know. And what's going on right here? Because technically we didn't deliver at this point. We're still in accumulation. Well, okay, what needs to happen on my 5 minute? We need to flush down, build up, go sideways. Oh. Okay, I like this. Oh, I mean, probably just a break even for me at least. And then on the 5 minute, we need to build up. Okay. We're building up. We're going sideways because at this point we didn't. We're building up sideways, flush down, sideways. Okay. We could have a setup here. And boom, before you know it, you're already, I'm just going to leave this up to see if it ends up running or not. I mean, it is about to be market close anyway, so probably going to tap me in and tap me out, but how cool would it be if this thing just delivers to hell, you know? And then we go and look at the hourly. Where are we on the hourly? Still within accumulation. Uh-oh. But guys, we're slightly outside of accumulation. Let's go look at our quote-unquote statistical probability of us winning right now. Well, if we're outside the accumulation, only 4 of 62 trades actually delivered. So looking at the hourly, I mean, yeah, we're technically still in accumulation, or this could be accumulation, and then you start justifying things, right? Then you start figuring it out. Because then this would be momentum break 1. Okay, technically, now we're within momentum break 1, so this is valid. And we're, yep, sidewaysing on the 20. Wait for this thing to sideways a little more. I mean, yes, or whatever it might be. Same thing. And then we might get a setup here. And I'm just going to let this thing go, right? Simple. So in this case would be accumulation and then momentum break 1. And in that case, we're just too far extended. So not on NQ though. So NQ might actually deliver. So I expect ES to stop now and NQ to go. There you go, guys. There's your signal for the day. All right, I'll let you guys go. I'm gonna get this posted to y'all. All right, peace.